Okay, let's make some money. In this simple demonstration, I will show you how I earned $593 in less than an hour. The system is easy to use. It only has 3 short steps, and it will help your profits several hundreds of dollars on a daily basis. I will now show you the exact methods which I used, and you'll be able to do the same. So what is this method exactly, and how does it work? It is a trading system based on binary options. Binary options are very simple to understand and use because all it requires is one decision, whether an asset will go up or down. Once you choose one of the 2 options, the trade can begin. It is a fast trade, between 5 and 30 minutes, and once the time is up, your position will automatically close. And if your choice was right, you profit between 170 and 190%. So how will you know if you choose up or down? We're going to use a very simple method that is used by the professional traders called graphic trends analysis. There is a higher probability for a financial asset to continue its current direction rather than to reverse it, so we can analyze these graphs and recognize its trends. There are 3 main types of trends: an uptrend, a declining trend, and a neutral trend. Now, I will demonstrate how you will use these trends to earn money. I will now log into my Binary Broker account and show you exactly, step by step, how it is done. Now obviously you have to create a new account for yourself to use. The system will work on any of the Binary Broker's recommended sites at the bottom of the site. Now, as you can see, I have $14,079.03 on this account. When I opened it only 2 months ago, it had only $500 in it. Now let's see how the system that has made me this growth really works. In the Binary platform, you have many assets to choose from: stocks, currencies, indices, and commodities. Once you've chosen your assets, you need to choose its direction. The direction can either be up or down. Notice the timer as the trade lasts between 5 and 30 minutes. Now, I will perform trades according to the method of trends monitoring, and you will be able to see how I make money with binary options. In the site on the first step under the video, there is a link. To recognize trends, use the real-time graphics available here. Once you click on it, a new page opens with the assets graphs. The page can take up to 1.5 minutes to load because it contains all of the graphs that you will need. Now, we will identify trends in these graphs in order to trade in the Binary platform. Okay, right now we are going to start with the currencies. Here we have our first currency, the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Now as you can clearly see, its trend line is very positive and clear. We can see it's going from this point all the way up here. So you can identify this as an upwards going trend line. Now, since we have our analysis, we can go back to the platform, choose the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. We choose our expiration hour. I'm going to click 10. Since it's going up, we click up, enter $100, click apply, and approve the option. Once you see the trade confirmation, you're good to go. Go back to the graphs and continue to Euro versus the Japanese yen. This graph, as well as going from this point all the way up here, is a positive upwards going trend line. So we go back to the platform, we look for the Euro versus Japanese yen right here, we choose our expiration hour, 10, we click up since the trend line is going up. We enter $100, apply, and approve. You see the confirmation and exit. Go back to the graphs, and we have here the GBP, the British pound, versus the Japanese yen. This graph, as well as going from this point all the way up here, it has its ups and downs, but it has an upwards going trend line. So we go back to the platform, choose the British pound versus the Japanese yen right here. And since it's going up, we click up, enter $100, click apply, approve, and we wait for the confirmations. Voila! Exit and go back to the graphs. We continue on to the Australian dollar, the AUD, versus the Japanese yen. This as well has a beautiful upwards going trend line going from this point all the way up here. It has its high point here, but it's okay. It's clarified as an upwards going trend. We go back to the platform, choose the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen right here. And since it's going up, we click up, enter $100 and apply. We approve the option and exit. All right, we go back to the graphs, and right here we have a downwards going trend line. Now, needless to say that from a downwards going trend line, we can make money the same way as from an upwards going trend line. It makes no real difference to us. And now I'll show you how. You can see right here that the oil is a downwards going trend line. So from this point, it has a high point right here, but begins to go down and down and down, and even lower than the starting point. So we go back to the platform. We choose the oil from our commodities section right here. Choose our expiration hour, and since it's going down, we are going to want to click down. Enter $100. Click apply and approve. Just like the upwards going trend, it's the same thing. We go back to the graphs. We have another downward going trend. We can see here that the silver starts from this point and it goes down and down and down, a lot like the oil down here. So we go back to the platform. From our commodities, we choose silver. Since it's going down, we click down. Enter $100, click apply, and approve our option. See the confirmation and go back to the graphs. Now we continue on to the euro versus the Swiss franc, the CHF. As you can see, we have a neutral trend line. It's a mixed one with no clarification of what it could be or what it is. So, since it's not a very good trend, it's one I'll want to stay away from. I'll avoid it and keep looking for others that are more clear like this. The Swiss franc again, the CHF, versus the Japanese yen. See the very beautiful clear trend line, this point going all the way up here, which is a positive upwards going trend. So we go back to the platform and look for the CHF versus the Japanese yen under the currencies. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe we do not have that currency on this platform. So apparently I don't have the option to trade on this platform, but that's okay. Since I don't have that option, now would be a good time to remind you that it's important to have an account at 2 or 3 binary brokers. So if a certain asset is missing from one, you will have it on the other. That way, you will maximize your profits by trading simultaneously on several brokers. All right, so we go back to the platform, and by now, we have 6 open positions. So I'm going to put one more position in there, which will be stocks. I will now show you how to choose stocks. Search from the list and identify its trends. We have here the stocks section of the site, and we can see here the Apple stock, as you can see, is not a very good trend line, so I'll want to stay away from this one. I'm going to search for a stock that I already know has a good trend line, but you'll have to look for it. I'm going to enter Vodafone right here. Now, as you can see, it already suggests the stock. I'm going to click it, and as soon as I click it, I can see the trend line. It's a beautiful downwards trend starting from this point right here and going all the way down to here. So basically, it's the same as using the currencies and commodity sections. It's very easy. We go back to the platform, we choose the Vodafone stock from our stock section right here. We choose our hour, and since it's going down, we click down. Enter $100 and apply. approve the option, and exit the confirmation. All right, so by now I have currently opened 7 positions following the significant trends shown by the graphs. Right here, we have all of the open positions, and we see here that the expiration hour of these options is 10 o'clock. I'm going to speed up the process of this video. We don't need to wait all that time. Once the expiration hour comes, I will show you how much we've lost and won. Alright, so now, in order for me to speed up the time of the video, I will scroll up so you can see the clock running, and I will speed up the video until 3 seconds before the options expiration hour, and you can see how much we've won and lost. Right now, our options are about to expire in about 3 seconds, and as you can see here, I'm about to scroll down to the expired positions below. Alright, by now, all of our positions have expired and can be viewed in the expired positions section of the table, which you can see right here below. In total, we won 6 positions out of the available 7 and lost only 1, which is the British pound against the Japanese yen. It is very important to remind you that it is perfectly normal to lose on some positions. No trader in the world can only gain. The purpose of this method is to win with the majority of the positions. So from these 6 wins, I have earned in total $593 in less than an hour. Now, please remember, to guarantee a successful trading session, make sure you implement the system in the Binary Broker's recommended sites at the bottom of the site.